Hey everybody, I'm Andy Rourke at Adventure Unleashed. I wanted to jump on real fast and give you a run through of our brand spanking new adventure, the Harpers Heist. This is a DM's run through, so if you're not DMing the game, but instead you're looking forward to playing it, stop this video. You don't want to see this because it'll give away all the good stuff. For the DMs, let's do a quick run through. The Harpers Heist is it's a lot of different things. It is some good combat. It is a lot of puzzles. It is a lot of fast-paced action. And I want to go through real fast kind of how to keep the tension up so your players have the best time possible. So here's what happens in the Harpers Heist. It starts off with your players, and they are approached by a member of the Harpers who is in trouble. The Harpers are a secret organization of people doing good stuff in the world, and they, for their safety, don't tend to share a lot of information between selves. So this Harper has very little information. He is coming to the group to say, I need help. One of the Harper agents, who has a code name of Fennec Fox, is being chased by a group called the Cult of Rebirth. Fennec stole an item from them. It is a very powerful and dangerous item. I don't know what it is. The last thing we heard from Fennec was 1 week ago. He was fleeing to a town called Muldoon towards the Last Dance Inn and Tavern. I need you to go to Muldoon, find Fennec Fox. No matter what, find that artifact, bring it back to me, and hopefully bring Fennec back alive as well. That's a little side thing. If you can, that's great. Mostly, we need that artifact. It cannot go back to the cult that had it before. The party will say, what does Fennec look like? Who is it? I don't know, right? This NPC knows nothing about Fennec, not gender, not race, not anything. Fennec is a master of disguise. All the player or all the character can do is give the party a token. And so he hands over a token of the Harper's logo on a wooden circle and a little wooden disc and says, show this to Fennec and he will know that you're here from the Harpers and he will trust you. Be careful who you show it to. And with that, the adventure begins. The party heads to Muldoon to go and find out where Fennec is and what's going on and what is this artifact, because the Harper who helped him out didn't know. And they're going to have to try to sort it out. So they arrive in Muldoon, and on the outskirts of town, they find a stone cabin that is being attacked by undead. It is being overrun, and there's a strange man lurking in the woods, and he's got a rotting skin mask, and he's overseeing what is happening with these zombies attacking this house. The party can solve that situation, save that family, hopefully rescue that family, and when they do, they meet the Tenderwick family, and the Tenderwicks are a family of halflings, a mom, dad, little boy, and they are so thrilled to be saved. And so when you do this encounter, make sure that you give updates on the doors being torn down, the windows being torn out. Really keep the pressure on the party. They have got to act fast and get rid of these zombies, or the zombies are going to attack this family. The zombies, their preference is to get into the house, because that is their driving motivation. And so if the party doesn't engage with them, they will continue to attack the house. And that's how you really keep the pressure on the party to make them move. This is a fun race against the clock. And so that is the stone house. The party will leave after meeting them and hopefully head on into town, on towards the Last Dance Inn and Tavern, searching for codename Fennec Fox. When they get to the tavern, it is not easy, because the tavern is packed. This is the only joint in town. It is full of people who are hanging out, having a great time. There's a bartender that works there and a gnome barmaid who's running around, and they both seem to know a lot of people. And the party's gonna have to figure out who the heck Fennec Fox is. The easiest way for them to do that is to ask the bartender or the barmaid, hey, who here is also staying in the tavern? And there are 3 people who are staying in the tavern. Another way to do it is to look around, and the party will find that 3 people are looking at them and trying to pretend like they are not looking at them. And that's usually an insight check or a perception check. So anyway, so there are 3 people. If you ask the bartender or the barkeep, what they'll say is one of those people came a week ago, and the other 2 came the day after. And players can deduce that the first one to arrive was Fennec, and the other 2 are cultists pursuing Fennec. They may also mention that 2 of the 3 people staying there seem to know each other, even though they're not staying together, and they often keep their distance from each other. And you can presume those are the cultists as well. So that's how you can figure out who Fennec Fox is. If the party figures out who Fennec Fox is and shows her, it is someone disguised as an elderly human woman, shows her the token, Finnick will say, meet me in the alley out back in 15 minutes. If they instead get confused and tricked by the cultists who are looking for Finnick Fox and would like to have that token so they can trick Finnick and kill her and find out where the stone is, then the shard is, then the exact same thing happens. So they show the token to the wrong person. The person acts like they know exactly what it is, and they say, meet me in the alley behind the inn in 15 minutes. And that person goes up to their room, presumably to signal to the cult that they need an ambush. If the players choose poorly, which honestly, let them choose poorly, because it is a fun fight, and it gets them to the exact same place. So if they choose poorly, just let them choose poorly, and they will go out to the alley. Outside in the alley, it's called Ambush at the Last Dance. The person they think is Finnick will meet them there and ask them for the token, and the players will either give them the token or they won't give them the token. But either way, that triggers combat. The cultists will attack. A cultist captain, who is a massive beast of an enemy, appears, two-handing some scimitars, and it's a big fight. And the other thing that's really cool about this fight is a cultist is up on the roof of the next building firing bolts down. Players have a great time with this. It is really fun because they can climb the building, fight on the roof, throw the cultists off the roof. It's really fun. Have fun with the environment. Finnick Fox shows up after the first round and wades in, and I use a spy block for Finnick. I have her do a sneak attack on whoever's doing the most damage and really just pound them. You can kind of make her a superhero, but she can come in and help tip the scales and really even that fight out. But after she comes in and the players are victorious, she then introduces herself, and we're back on track whether they met her or not. Either way, Finnick is behind the inn, and she's introducing herself. She says that she is a member of the Harpers. She stole a artifact called the Shard of Atropos from the Cult of Rebirth. The Shard of Atropos is a nasty piece of rock that mindlessly and continuously calls and summons undead. The cult's using it to grow their undead army so that they can do bad stuff, of course. So that's why Finnick stole it and why these guys cannot get it back. They are really bad news. They've got bad plans. And so the shard is in Finnick's possession, kind of. She knew that she was being pursued. That's when she sent her message for help. As soon as she got to town, she went to the bank and deposited the shard in the bank. It's called the Black Iron Bank. And so the shard is in the vault in the bank. And she needs the players to go and get it. She cannot go get it herself. If she does, there are cultist eyes everywhere. They know her. They will see her. They will either attack the bank or they will wait for her to come out and kill her and take the item. The players cannot impersonate Finnick because, again, the cultists will see them going in and start the attack or wait in ambush when they come out, and the chase will just go on. Also, the bank has a system. They have a magic quill. It is a true signature quill, and it only signs truths, and it only signs in the person's real signature to prevent deception for fraudulent withdrawals. And so we're not going to be able just to walk into the bank, pretend to be Finnick, and get the thing. We're going to have to get into that vault and get that item. At this point, the heist begins. Your party, I've got a game mechanic in here that you can totally use. You can role play out the whole thing if you want, or you can use a mechanic to streamline planning. And I would just sort of walk through that and how they kind of do that. The way it works is, instead of role playing the whole thing, we decide with the party, hey, do you want to burglary? Do you want to break in stealth style? Do you want to kick the door open armed robbery style and try to fight your way to the vault, alarms blaring? Or do you want the con? And some of them want to use deception. They want to pick people's pockets, steal keys, distractions, things like that. Any of those work. You can totally do whatever you want. This game is totally set up for that. So flexible, so fun. And so just let them pick. What do you want to do? And for whatever they want to do, we'll go around and each of the players will say, how are you going to prepare for this? How are you going to gather information? How are you going to case the joint out? And then we roll a skill check. And then we can give them the information that they find just straight up and say, well, this is what you learn. This is what you find from talking to the shopkeepers. This is what you get from talking to the people around town. This is what you get from walking by the bank. This is what you get from going and make a very small deposit and going into the bank and looking around. And that's all in Appendix B. You can get all the information there is to get that way. And so they can case the bank out very efficiently that way. And then it's time to go. The players have planned the job. they are going to head into the bank, and they are either going to jack it, or they are going to sneak in, or they are going to con. The most important thing that they should get when they plan the job is they should get the knowledge that Belden Tenderwick, one of the members of the Tenderwick family, is the record keeper at the bank. We thought that it was a random attack on his house at the beginning, but it wasn't. The cultists actually know that the shard is in the bank. They were going to get Belden to get into the bank themselves. The players may put that together. They may not. I don't tell them. I let them figure it out, or just go on without even figuring it out. But Belden Tenderwick is the record keeper at the bank. And so Belden was very happy about having his family saved. He very much does not want any more undead to come. He can be persuaded to help the party. He can give them more information. He will loan them his bank key to get through the first level, which saves a lot of time and stress and energy. And so that is a thing that they can definitely use. So going back and talking to Belden is a great idea. From that point, they can head into the bank. The bank has its own maps. There's 5 maps in this adventure. They all come as gridded or non-gridded, and they also come with a DM version, so you can see where everything is laid out. So those are all the maps that are there. 3 levels of bank. The main level is the opening level, is lightly guarded. There's mostly alarm traps that summon the guards in the bank and or the town guards. The town guard station is down the road. The upstairs is where Belden lives. The players can definitely use stealth to sneak up there. Belden left his key in his bedroom, and they can try to slip past Belden and a guard that is also hanging out on the upper floor and get that. And then down into the vault level they go. And the vault level is a neat little level. There is a meticulously clean hallway down in the vault level, and at the end of it is an iron door that only locks and unlocks from the other side. So as the players get down there, they will see this strangely clean hallway. They will see a door made of thick iron with a peephole like that, and they will see that iron door is etched with what looks like acid burns. This is a slide trap. If the guards on the other side of the door become spooked, or if they think they're under attack, they can actually pull a lever, and it will drop the back end of the hallway. And it will drop down, and at the bottom is an alcove where the bank owner, a former adventurer, has put one of his favorite little monsters, and he loves monsters. But there is a gelatinous cube there. The players will then on a slide on a slope that ends in a gelatinous cube. Oh, yes. Whenever they try to move, they're going to have to make a dexterity saving roll, or else they slide 10 feet towards the gelatinous cube. This can get really nasty really fast. But it is super fun. The guards can also shoot crossbow bolts through their peephole down on the struggling players. Watching them get out of this is a super fun tour. They've got some nice little goodies. Fennec Fox gives them a bag of goodies. They've got 3 sticks of dynamite taped together they can use to open that door if they need to. They have a variety of tricks. It's amazing. I've seen druids turn into rats or mice or spiders and slip through the peephole and open up the door from the other side. All those things. It's so great. It's really high tension, and they do have a wonderful time. So they can get past the iron door on the bottom level, escape the slide trap. Hopefully they won't set the slide trap off. There's a guard station. Hopefully they'll be able to sneak past it, or they can fight their way through it. And then they get to the vault. At the vault, only the bank owner's key will open the vault door. Also dynamite, other things like that they can figure out. But the easiest way is to use the bank owner's key, which they stole from the top floor, and unlock the vault. Inside the vault is the Black Iron Bank Golem. This is a refurbished golem that the owner and his party actually defeated and then put back together. It does not work like it used to. It is a broken down golem. It is still a handful for level 3 players. They do not want to set it off. Whoever's holding the bank owner's key is not going to be attacked by the golem. So hopefully one person will go in. They have ways of getting that information, and they will go in. The box with the shard is sitting on a table right there, and right next to it is an amazing, beautiful warhammer. This warhammer is a trap, right? Next to the warhammer on the ground is a statue of a dwarf, a grinning dwarf, holding an emerald. And they written in Dwarvish across the bottom is something like, may your needs be satisfied, but never your greed. And this statue is a tribute to Abathor, the dwarven god of greed, another trap. The bank owner is pretty wily. He loves traps. He loves monsters. So he's collected his favorite traps and monsters and put them down here in this vault. If anyone touches that emerald, the statue explodes. It is a trap. The Warhammer is just laying right next to the shard. It's laying on the table. It's too good to be true, and it is too good to be true. This is the Hammer of Abathar. This is a cursed item. Anyone who takes it just cannot bear to part with it. They also feel a growing need to gain wealth, and they will have to gain wealth every single day or start taking levels of fatigue and exhaustion until they can get uncursed. The hammer does have some cool magical properties. It helps find treasure. It can help on skill checks to get to treasure, things like that. It also has an identify spell in it for bartering and some bartering advantages and stuff like that. So very cool weapon, but ultimately cursed. It's great for roleplay. It's fun. A lot of people think that they got out of the bank scot-free, but they didn't, and they're cursed. And so that is the Hammer of Abathar, which is laying there as well. There's also two chests in the back corner of the vault, and people go, well, where is the money of the bank? It's in one of those chests. The other is a domesticated mimic that is sitting and waiting for players to get close to the chests. And when they get close enough to open either of the two chests, they're in range of the mimic, which will try to grab and restrain them. Again, if only one person goes into the vault because there's only one key and they don't want the golem to come after them, then they're in there alone. And if they get grabbed by the mimic, the party suddenly has a terrible decision to make. They either have to let this one player try to get away from this mimic that has sprung forward and surprised them, or they have to go in there and try to help their party member, and the golem is going to come to life and come after them. And so it really gets crazy really, really fast. The best thing is that as long as no one's trying to steal anything, as long as they're honorable, they go in, they take the shard, and they leave. When they start trying to take other stuff, that's when all hell breaks loose, and it is so fun. As soon as they get the box with the shard in it, you hear ripping metal and breaking stone, and the alarms go off. The Cult of Rebirth has arrived. They are on to what is going on. They have a ogre zombie who has torn one of the windows out of the building upstairs. Balfar, the cultist mage who is leading the chase to catch and kill Fennec Fox, is there, and as are at least one cultist. And so they are waiting as the party tries to leave the building. They run into zombies in the stairwell that are coming down for them, and this really becomes a fight for survival. Think of like a zombie movie where you're stuck inside a building, the undead are coming through the holes through the door, and your party is trying to fight their way to freedom, to escape with the relics. It becomes a free-for-all. You as the DM can have so much fun because the bank alarms are going off, so the bank guards are there. You can make this a bloody event of the guards being torn up by zombies, just blood splatter everywhere. You can go that way. You can play it straight and just have the assigned number of bank guards attack. You can, if it looks like a fair fight and the party is doing really well and rolling really well, you can have the bank guards flee from the undead and the cult. And just let them fight it out. If the party starts to lose, you can have the town guards show up and engage with the cult. There's really a lot of stuff you can do, but it just feels like complete chaos and a fight for survival. And this is a great ending battle. Ideally, your party will kill off the cultists and definitely kill off Balfar, at which point they're able to rendezvous back with Fennec Fox. They have the shard. They've got Fennec Fox. She will take the shard. She will pay them for helping her, or give them advice, or give them whatever you guys decide for them to go on with the adventure. And that is how the game will run. There are some tweaks if they run the con. I do it a little bit differently. I don't tend to have the cultist attack until they've run the con the whole way and they're trying to exit the building. And when they're trying to leave the building with the shard, that's when I tear the wall off with the zombie and the alarms, and then all hell breaks loose. So there's all that is laid out. It's all easy to go with. There's definitely some cool magic items. The Hammer of Abathar is my favorite, but you know there's a lot of different stuff for them in there. This is a great role play adventure, a great puzzle solving adventure, and the fights all have something cool with them. There's always pressure. There's always the sliding trap floor. The zombies getting into the house to kill the family, and they have to be stopped. The cultists up on the roof firing crossbow bolts down, and people having to engage them or climb to get there. And so we really try to make every single encounter really cool with high stakes, with a running clock, and or with a cool environment that just throws a wrench in the works. So guys, that is the Harper's Heist. I hope you will like it. If you do, please grab it from DM's Guild, and I'd love if you left us a review. That's how people find this adventure. Thanks so much. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful time with the adventure. Leave me a comment, questions down below in the video, and I'm happy to take them. Gang, take care, have fun. Talk to you later on. I hope you have a great time breaking into the bank.